What happens when lawmakers flee their own state to save democracy or stall it? And what if another state decides to strike back? Texas Republicans are trying to redraw congressional maps mid-decade. Democrats fled to California to stop it. Now, California is threatening to redraw its own lines in retaliation. It's a redistricting war, and it could reshape who controls Congress in 2026. This all began when Texas Democrats left the state, breaking quorum to block a controversial GOP redistricting plan. The plan would reportedly flip 5 blue seats red. And California didn't just welcome the Democrats, it joined the fight.
California Governor Gavin Newsom has announced that he and other state lawmakers will be the second state to host Democrats who are breaking that quorum in Texas.
Governor Newsom announced if Texas flips those seats, California will redraw its own maps to gain Democratic seats in return. That tit-for-tat drew national attention and concern from those worried the fight could spiral beyond Texas.
If you redraw Texas, we'll do the same here. We'll dramatically increase potentially the number of Democratic seats. Talk to us about just how precarious political moment this seems to be for everybody.
Right. No, and I guess precarious is a very good word. So let's actually put this into a bigger context, because it's not just about redistricting. And, ideal scenario, Texas just stands down, and this doesn't go beyond that. How bad must it be? How bad must Trump and Republicans in Congress feel about their chances next November, right? You usually run on a legislative record of accomplishment, but their accomplishments have been giving tax breaks to billionaires, cutting health care, trying to destroy federal government as we know it, that their only chance of holding on to power in the midterms is to rig the election.
Senator Alex Padilla of California called it a perfect storm of election manipulation, alleging Republicans are trying to rig the 2026 midterms through redistricting, voting roll purges, and executive orders.
I mean, it's a perfect storm of rigging next November's election, so it's not.
He warned that it's not just about maps, it's about power and using federal agencies for political advantage. Padilla says Democrats have 2 options: stand by the rules or fight fire with fire, and he's not backing down.
But look at the stakes are just so high with what this administration is trying to do beyond the limits of their power. And there's no longer a check and balance, right? Congress is a co-equal branch of government. The Republican majority in both the House and the Senate is negligent in their responsibility of providing the oversight and accountability to this administration. That's why the administration has lost so many court cases, and either they're appealing or disregarding those rulings. And so unless or until Republicans in Congress stand up, we have to do everything we can.
Meanwhile, Republican leaders accused Democrats of theatrics, and some even floated using federal law enforcement to bring the Texas lawmakers home. Talk of the FBI being used to force lawmakers back? That sparked fresh accusations of federal overreach. Padilla called it another example of politicizing justice.
FBI, really? I mean, it's just the latest example of Donald Trump weaponizing the federal government, not just the Department of Justice, but the FBI specifically, to pursue his political agenda.
Here's the real challenge. Most Americans don't understand redistricting, let alone gerrymandering. But they do understand political games.
Most Americans sort of have a pretty vague idea of what it means. They don't really know it. I mean, I'm always amazed at how many of my very well-informed friends don't know what gerrymandering is, really.
So how do you get voters to care about something that happens once every 10 years but can affect every election? If California redraws its map, it sets a precedent. If the FBI gets involved in forcing legislators home, that sets another. And if both sides go all in, voters may be caught in the crossfire again. This isn't just a Texas fight anymore. It's a national stress test on how far states and parties are willing to go to keep power. Senator Padilla says Democrats will keep fighting in the courts, on the ground, and in Congress.
Remember, midterms are going to be here before we know it.
And when they arrive, the maps may look very different. So might the rules. And the only question that will matter is, who got to draw them?